A lot of chatter about this today. According to a Google consumer survey, out of 125 cities, Colorado Springs is the most desirable place in all of America to live in. But that's just what everyone else thinks.
Tonight, we wanted to find out from you, is the rest of America right?
Breaking news this morning, Springs police investigating a shooting that happened at the intersection of Circle and Monterey. Colorado Springs police investigating a wild overnight crime spree.
New data from the Colorado Springs Police Department given to News First 5 shows where violent crimes are happening in the city. The two biggest hotspots are in the heart of downtown and south near the intersection of Shelton and Fountain.
I was scrolling through Facebook when I first learned of House Bill 1726. Colorado Criminal Justice Reform Coalition works with a group of bipartisan state legislation to get millions of dollars put into community in an effort to reduce crime and recidivism. I joined a team of Southeast leaders, pastors, teachers, police, formerly incarcerated, and elected officials. We had to decide the boundaries of Southeast and what our crime prevention priorities were. That information was placed into the grant application, and in May of 2018, I got to be a part of deciding how the first $1.3 million would get dispersed. After spending $3.6 million and funding 21 different organizations, the 2020 funds were cut to $860,000. $1 million was cut from my community, and I don't feel good about it. The first time I was a part of this grant review, it was just like a really exciting and amazing thing. And this time I want to cry, to be honest. It was like we're putting $1 million in our community before, and now it's like we're cutting $1 million from our community, and that hits a lot differently. Like, I want to be the one bringing money to our community, and so I'm pretty emotional about it. With funds getting cut and review of the program on the horizon, it's time we work with and advocate for the programming that the 7 grantees provide to our community.
That was a very, very important turning point in my life. At that time, I had just gotten off parole. I was already an active member in the program. I was a site director at that time. And for me to be able to sit down with the likes of Senator Pete Lee, his wife Lynn Lee, all these very prominent and powerful people within our community, and for them to actively sit down and listen to my point of view as far as what I think could help our community was very impactful, and it gave me hope that what we're doing is not going to fall on deaf ears, and people are listening and they are willing to help. I am the Vice President of Community Works. Community Works is the center of all of my endeavors. And the reason why it is the center is because of what it stands for. Essentially what we want to do is serve the underserved communities and give them an opportunity to compete, an opportunity to win. So with all the business ventures I have, they're directly impacted by what goes on at Community Works. So with Community Works in itself, we provide training, supportive services, housing, all that under the guise of that we're going to get you into work so that you'll be self-sustaining. Once we get you into that work, we provide continued supportive services of what people call wraparound services to keep you sustained until you make that transition and becoming a permanent employee, and then you can take care of your own family.
Being exposed to crime or violence at any age, specifically a young age, truly impacts traumatic stress for that child, that individual, that family.
She's 5 years old, so I don't even know if she fully understands. And then just the way that it happened, like, you know, it's just so violently.
The residual of that is reduced opportunity to thrive.
As a sign and symbol to tell you that we demand transparency.
I grew up as one of the youngsters here on the southeast side of town, and I spent a lot of time in detention centers and group homes and placements, and I lost myself during that time, you know, so I went through a lot in life, you know, where I ended up on my deathbed and everything like that. I wanted to give back, and the best place to give back is like where it all started for me. We're mentoring the kids throughout the week, both boys and girls, getting them engaged in pro-social activities. So we've done a lot of fishing trips, camping trips. We go ATV riding. Just introducing them to some new things, letting them experience that there's more than just the streets. Our main goal is trying to push these kids to strive to do better and let them know that they are worthy and that they have the capabilities and they have the abilities, and we're big on relationships. You know, I think that's the biggest thing, especially for me growing up in all the juvenile placements that I was in. None of it seemed real. You know, you had staff or something like that would, oh, we care for you, we do, you know what I mean? But then it was, once you left that facility or you left that placement, it was done. You had no more interaction with them. And we've had kids with us that started in the beginning that are now coming back with their families. You know, they're bringing their kids and their wives, and they're giving back.
Health equity is about addressing systems. We need to look at policies and environmental factors, and within those, the systems in which decisions are being made and are influenced. Determining and understanding how to address these things through a community lens builds our collective community power and provides an opportunity for all individuals to attain their highest level of health.
I believe for any of these communities that have been suffering from police brutality or lack of resources, I think collectively we have to get together as a community and come up with an empowerment plan for our community and take that plan to the state or to the local politicians and work with them to implement some of those strategies to bring resources to our community, to bring a change to our community. But we have to work together collectively, and we definitely need to start doing it now.